Hey, famous YouTube, this is Rabbit speaking. And have you ever wondered what Disney characters would be like if they were One Piece characters? Now, what I mean by that is, like, have you ever taken Disney characters and made them into the Straw Hats? Like, what if Disney characters played Straw Hats? Well, I have a list of what characters should be who. Like, we're gonna go over the 9 Straw Hats, the 9 main Straw Hats. So, like, from Luffy to Brook. I'm not gonna do any characters from outside the crew, so I'm sorry about that. Maybe it'll be another video for that, I don't know, but I just want to focus on the main 9. So let's go over this. Like, who would play who? For Brook, I think the one who should play Brook is Hector. Hector from Coco. Now, I only watched Coco once, and when I watched it, I thought it was pretty good, though. I'll probably watch it again, probably a few more times, It's just that good. But the one thing that I really liked about this movie was Hector, and Hector as Brook would be perfect. Now, of course, they're both skeletons, talking skeletons, but another thing about these characters is they both sing, and they both have someone they want to reunite with. Now, if you haven't seen Coco, I don't want to spoil it for you, but let's just say Hector has someone that he wants to reunite with, like throughout this movie, he wants to reunite with someone, just like Brook wants to reunite with Laboon. So him being a musician would be amazing for the Straw Hat crew. For Frankie, I think the genie would be the best for him. Now I know, like, Frankie's technology, the genie is based off of magic, but if, like, we're talking about the One Piece universe here, so, like, if the genie was in the One Piece universe, he would have no magic powers, but I think he would be a cyborg, and that's why I think him as Frankie would work perfectly. Now, Frankie, he does a lot of weird stuff, like he can change his hair, do the nipple gun thing. It's just, he's a very weird dude. Well, just like the genie is a weird dude, the genie, he's cartoony in Aladdin, he's the most cartooniest character you'll see in that movie. Maybe one of the most cartooniest characters you'll see in any type of Disney movie. That's how I feel with the genie in One Piece. The genie will stick out the most, and the Straw Hat Crew is the most cartooniest. For Robin, my One Piece waifu, I picked Belle. Belle, man. Like, Belle, there's 2 reasons why. One is that both Belle and Robin, they were kind of misfits in their village. Like, Belle was kind of made fun of for reading and stuff in her village. Everybody thought she was weird for reading. I mean, that's pretty much the same way with Robin, except she was made fun of for her devil fruit powers. And another reason why, why I picked Belle as for Robin is because, like I said before, she reads, and it's an interest. Like, it's an interest for Belle. Like, she loves reading, and we've seen that with Robin too, like, during her downtime, like, how she loves to read. I don't know if there are other comparisons for the 2 characters, but Belle as Robin be the perfect fit, though. If Belle was in the One Piece universe, she'd be studying poneglyphs, though. She'd be reading them. She'd be an archaeologist like Robin. For Chopper, my favorite One Piece character, I have to go with Bambi. Bambi would be great. And I gotta put my hat on. I forgot to put this hat on, guys. So sorry. But anyway, though, so, I mean, Bambi as Chopper, though. Now, of course, these characters, they're both deer, and they're both shy. Like, they both have had some pretty tragic backstories. Well, every One Piece character has had tragic backstories, and maybe a few Disney characters had some tragic backstories as well. But if Bambi was in the One Piece universe, he pretty much had this devil fruit power, the same devil fruit as Chopper. He would have the human fruit, I think that's what it's called. He would turn himself into these human features and all that. And if he would go outside the island, he would pretty much be exploring, observing the desert. He'd pretty much be exploring and observing Skypiea. He'd be exploring and observing all of that. And I feel like he would believe everything, every lie that people would say to him. I mean, I don't really know if that's the case with Bambi, but I feel like that's what he would be like. The one who should play Sanji, I think, is Prince Naveen from The Princess and the Frog. Now, one of these things that these characters have in common is that they're both born to royalty. They're both princes. Another thing that these characters have in common is that they both have an interest in girls. Like, well, I mean, Prince Naveen, he just does it for fun. Whereas Sanji, he's trying to fall in love and get married and all that. But still, though, they're both ladies' men. And another thing that these characters have in common is that they both learned how to cook while being stranded. Like, we all know Sanji, he got stranded in the middle of the ocean with Seth, and then later they got rescued, and then they opened up their own restaurant. Whereas Prince Naveen, Prince Naveen, he got turned into a frog, then Tiana got turned into a frog, they had to go through the swamp, and Prince Naveen had need to learn how to cook, and then they opened up their own restaurant, so there's a bit of a pattern here. Like, there's a bit of a pattern here. And so, yeah, Prince Naveen, if he was in the One Piece universe, he'd be cooking for everybody. He'd be cooking for everybody in the Straw Hat crew. He'd be going after ladies. I feel like he'd be a bigger pervert because, I feel like in One Piece, there really isn't any limits to being perverted. So, yeah, Prince Naveen as Sanji in the One Piece universe would definitely work. This one, I think, seemed pretty obvious. Pinocchio as Usopp, it would work perfectly, though. I mean, Now, one of these things these two characters have in common, of course, the noses. Another thing these characters have in common, they're both liars. Like, if Pinocchio was in the One Piece universe, like, oh, I have 8,000 men, and it gets bigger, like that's pretty much how it would be. I mean, I can see him also with a slingshot, you know. I don't know if he would be Sniper King. Maybe he would be Sniper King, or maybe he would be something else like, oh, I'm the wooden string man, the wooden string king or something. I mean that'd be interesting though. But I mean, Pinocchio as Usopp, you can't argue with that though. I think Rapunzel would be great as Nami. Now, I couldn't find much comparisons between these two characters, just a couple. And I just couldn't compare Nami to any other Disney character. I mean, I don't think there's any other Disney character that can play Nami other than Rapunzel. But let's talk about the comparisons, though. Like, let's talk about the two comparisons. One, they were both taken in by the bad guy. You know, Arlong took Nami in because of her navigating skills and all that, whereas Rapunzel was taken in as a baby because of her golden hair by Mother Gothel. So yeah, they're both used by the bad guy. Both were pawns. And the other reason is because they both want to explore the world. Well, I mean, Rapunzel wants to explore the outside world, but I don't know about the entire world. Nami does, clearly, because she wants to make a map of the entire world. I can see her being the navigator in the One Piece universe, knowing places, making maps and all that, but can I see Rapunzel getting just as mad as Nami? I don't know if I can picture that, though. I don't know if I can picture Rapunzel getting just as mad as Nami, though. Like, what if someone's stealing Rapunzel's money? What would happen, though? Like, how mad would she be? Now, Grumpy, my favorite dwarf from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I think would be great as Zoro, though. Like, I can see him taking on the goal of being the world's greatest swordsman. I can see him taking on the role of being the first mate of the crew, like the second in command. One of these things these characters have in common is that they're both moody. Another thing that these characters have in common is that they don't trust people right away, though. Like, Grumpy didn't trust Snow White when he first met her. Zoro didn't trust Nami or Robin. Like, he has a hard time trusting people, just like Grumpy does. And if Grumpy was in the One Piece universe, like, I can see him, you know, not trusting Belle at first. I can see him not trusting Rapunzel at first, though. Like, I can see him, you know, telling the captain what to do and what not to do. Like, Grumpy's already badass, but he'd be even a bigger badass in the One Piece universe. As for the King of the Pirates, the one who should take on the role of Luffy, I think it should be, yeah, you guys are looking at it right now, I think it should be Winnie the Pooh. Now, Winnie the Pooh, one of the things that Luffy and Winnie the Pooh have in common is that they both love a certain food. You know, Luffy loves meat, Winnie the Pooh loves honey. Another thing that these characters have in common is that they're both very ignorant, though. Like, they're both very ignorant characters. And the best quality that they have, the one thing that they have in common, the best thing is they both love their friends. Like, they both care about their friends very deeply and all that. I mean, yeah, I haven't been the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan in a long time since I was a kid, but I still remember this, and when I look back at it for this video, I'm just like, yeah, he'd be the perfect fit of the King of the Pirates. Like imagine if Winnie the Pooh was like fighting enemies like Crocodile or Doflamingo or just Katakuri. Like, he'd be like, I'm going to be king of the pirates. I'm sorry, guys, but like that's the best Winnie the Pooh like impersonation I have. Like, I can't do a good Winnie the Pooh voice, but still, that's pretty much what he would say. Winnie the Pooh, like, how could you not compare him to Luffy though? Like, how could you not though? What did you guys think of my choices though? Like, do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, what other 9 Disney characters would you pick as the Straw Hats? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I know I only picked like one Pixar character, Hector from Coco, but he was all I could find though, and of course I'm already happy with that. Please make sure to subscribe so that way you get more videos like this every week. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.